Hey guys, it's Reggie. I'm back with Stephen Badger with Zell Law Group, right? Law firm,
Yeah.
something like that. And the reason I'm with him is, like today, we're going to be talking about House Bill 2103. Yesterday, if you missed it, we talked about deductible and kind of what the changes are that are going to affect your business. And today, I want to talk about UPPA. I know you were heavily involved in kind of pushing this through legislation. Kind of give us an overview about how it came to be and kind of what's happened to date.
Sure. So the unauthorized practice of public adjusting, UPPA, is a hot topic.
Right.
Obviously, very simply, it is that if you're going to negotiate an insurance claim, you have to be a licensed public adjuster or a lawyer.
Right.
In other words, contractors cannot negotiate insurance claims because they're not licensed lawyers or public adjusters. In 2013 or so, there was a statute added to the insurance code, to the public adjuster licensing statute 4102, that made it very clear that roofing contractors cannot negotiate insurance claims. And it worked. It's demonstrated a UPPA problem. Some contractors who engage in UPPA have received penalties and cease and desist orders from the TDI. What we've seen in recent years is that now not just roofing contractors, but other contractors were doing it also.
Right.
So there was a need to amend the statute to address that issue, to remove the word roofing, so now it applies to all contractors.
Right.
That was the primary part of the bill. Then there's a couple of other fun components also.
So you use a word there that I think is confusing, maybe not confusing, but just misunderstood, and that's the word negotiate. Talk to us about what that means. What does that really mean in terms of a roofer's life? How does that apply to this law, so to
Well,
speak?
there's two contracts here. There's the contract between the homeowner and the contractor.
Yeah.
They have their contract. And then there's a contract between the insurance company and its customer that's also the homeowner.
Policy.
The policy,
Right.
That's right. The problem is that these two collide, don't they?
Sure.
And so the contractors end up getting involved in the negotiation of the insurance claim, acting as an advocate on behalf of the homeowner.
So what would be some of the things you've heard them doing that would best explain that?
If you don't pay this claim, you're in bad faith, and you can be sued, and your policy says that you have to pay general contractor overhead and profit, and you have to pay this or that, or I'm going to go out and find a lawyer and you're going to get sued.
Yeah.
Now that's different than explaining your estimate, explaining what you believe is damaged. So there is a gray area. It's not clear cut, but what I will say is that the contractors who are trying to do things right and be nice and work cooperatively for the benefit of the homeowner, those aren't the ones engaging in UPPA. They're not getting in trouble. It's the flagrant abusers who are actually out there threatening bad faith, talking about policy terms, and actually acting as though they're a public adjuster.
Yeah, and they really should be saying, I can talk to your insurance company and walk you every step of the way through this claim, should they?
No, in fact, I see the trucks, insurance claims specialist, right, advocate for you, we'll get your claim paid. No, you have your own contract. That's separate from the policy.
Right.
Focus on your job, which is to put on roofs, and let an advocate, if needed, focus on the policy issues.
So some of these roofers have tried to get cute and get their PA license and start working claims. That's really not allowed either, is it?
Well, they can do it, but they can't do it on the same claim. So we had to address this issue in the 2015 legislative session, where we got language added that says you can be a PA, you can be a roofer, but you can't do both on the same claim.
Just on the same claim.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that that's really important to realize, especially when it comes to, like supplements and, missing line items and stuff like that. Talk to us a little bit about that, because you're not saying that a roofer shouldn't be able to look and see what's missing or ask an adjuster for more, not payment, but maybe a missing line item or a supplement that needed after the roof was pulled off. Help us with that.
Yeah, so very often, obviously, it's no secret that insurance adjusters will miss items, or something will come up during the job, more more sheets of plywood, or some more turtle vents or something, or the drip edge couldn't be salvaged.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with a contractor talking to the insurance company about a supplement. If it's the actual contractor who did the work, I educate when I teach insurance adjusters and my clients. Go ahead and be reasonable. Talk to the adjuster or talk to the contractor, preferably in the presence of the homeowner. Meet together at the site and talk about a supplement. That's different than what we're seeing with these supplementing companies who are now writing new estimates and then taking 25% of whatever more they get. That's a grayer area that causes us concern.
So is it gray or is it a no-no? I mean, because there's supplement companies popping up everywhere.
Well, it depends on what they do. If you're calling the insurance company and saying, "Hi, I'm with the roofing company that did the work," but you're not,
right?
Well, that's lying. And then you try to negotiate the supplement, and you're really a stranger to the contract. I hear about those, and that concerns us. Right? But if you're if you're the real roofer who put on the roof, if you're the brick and mortar contractor, all right, there is room for you to have a reasonable discussion with the adjuster about supplement items that arose during the project. The safest thing to do, as I said earlier, is do it in the presence of the homeowner. All right, tell the homeowner what the items are. Let the homeowner tell the adjuster, and be there as a resource.
Yeah. Because I think that's where a lot of challenge becomes, and with contractors, homeowners, and adjusters. Homeowners maybe not. They've been through this, and I think a part of the sell of this is like, we do this stuff. I'm experienced. I put on 50 roofs, 60 roofs, or whatever. I'm a local guy. I just think people obviously are going to have to be careful in dealing in how they deal. Is this kind of like a, I don't know how to say this. Is this just kind of a move to get people back in their lanes?
Well, it is important that people stay in their lanes,
right?
No question, and there's no secret that the public adjusters, they're not happy about contractors moving into their lane. Lawyers aren't happy about the contractors moving to their lane. But again, what we all have to remember is that we're trying to help Mrs. Smith get a new roof.
Right.
So the important part of this is that let's work cooperatively, because I'm pretty much aware of every contractor who's gotten in trouble in Texas for you.
Yeah.
Right. And the contractors who get in trouble are the ones who clearly cross the line.
What kind of trouble can they get in?
Well, their contract states, this is an insurance proceeds contract. I will negotiate the claim for you and get your insurance claim paid. And then there's emails that say, you bad insurance company should be paying for GCOMP. And the contractor's actually sending emails talking about contract terms and trying to negotiate. There are real clear abuses. Those are the ones getting in trouble. I've yet to see a single action where a good neighborhood roofer who's just trying to help Mrs. Smith get a new roof has gotten in trouble.
Yeah. So what are kind of the penalties that would be involved in something like this? I mean, I don't know if there's specifics or there's just like general, is this, fines? Is this
two penalties. Number one is that the Texas Department of Insurance, when they see clear UPPA violations, they are issuing cease and desist orders to contractors and fining them between $2,500 and $5,000. And I've seen probably a half dozen of those over the last 4 years. So not that many, just the really egregious ones. The other enforcement is enforcement by the homeowner, because if a contractor engages in UPPA, the contract is illegal, void, and unenforceable. And that means that the contractor cannot seek enforcement of the contract. And there's a class action right now against a large, well-known roofing contractor who has been found that their contract violates the UPPA laws, and the remedy for the homeowner is the return of all amounts paid under that contract, even if the work was done. And if that's not enough of a deterrent to get the contractor from doing it, knowing you're going to have to give your entire payment back, I don't know what is.
Yeah, so I think the message here is just, you're a roofing contractor, you want the best services for your homeowner possible, but understand, we got to know our roles, right? And I think that we've kind of pushed some boundaries as contractors, and this is an opportunity to kind of straighten things up and to get back to what we know what to do, and that's build and put on roofs. So
let me say one other issue that was raised in this legislation as well. What we started to see is contractors trying to get around the UPPA laws by taking an assignment of benefits or a power of attorney form. The legislation makes clear that a contractor cannot circumvent the UPPA laws by getting an AOB or a POA.
That just changed in Florida too, didn't it?
It did, and we saw the Florida experience, what went on down there. So this language was added to make it clear that a contractor cannot become basically the holder of the claim and negotiate on behalf of the homeowner by taking a power of attorney or any other assignment contract.
When do you think it's right to get a PA involved regarding this legislation?
If there is a legitimate dispute as to the existence of damage or the cost to repair damage that cannot be reasonably resolved, then there is a role for PAs. The PAs know that I do not begrudge the involvement of a PA
Right.
because consumers need advocates when there is a legitimate dispute with the insurance company. And a PA is a good resource. I've got good PA friends who help consumers,
Right.
and we get claims resolved with them. If
Yeah.
not, then there's lawyers as well.
Yeah. So guys, I think the message here is that we have a great opportunity to do what we do very, very well, and we need to let guys that do this other type of process, whether it's protecting the homeowner's rights or, trying to, that's not our job, right? And so I think I think UPPA is important. It's important that you understand, and it's important that we don't cross lines. And I think that's the bottom line. Because at the end of the day, whether it's a carrier, whether it's PA, an attorney, a contractor, we should have the interest of the homeowners at mind and just getting them back to whole, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Stephen, thank you for this. Tomorrow we're going to discuss finally the third legislation that didn't have as much, what didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, right? We're going to talk about licensing a little bit. So guys, thanks a lot. I appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Stephen.
Thank you.